Well, good Tuesday afternoon to you, and thanks for joining us on THV 11. I'm Jurnee Taylor. We'll get to your headlines in just a moment, but first, let's check in with meteorologist Nathan Scott, all the way out there in the weather garden. Nathan, what are you feeling out there? Is it feeling good?
It's warm out here, Jurnee, and also that deck of clouds that we saw this morning have really started to break up. So the temperatures will be warming up this afternoon, but we are watching for the potential of maybe some strong storms arriving here just in time for the start of Halloween. Two different weather models both agree we will see a line of rain and thunder slide through central Arkansas when you're waking up for Halloween. Now, Halloween will not be a washout. More on that coming up in Maine weather, but we are watching out for the potential. There could be some strong, possibly severe thunderstorms. Here's the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. It's a 2 out of 5 risk, so really nothing has changed for West Arkansas, and it's a 1 out of 5 here in central Arkansas, or a marginal risk. I think the main concerns will be a few storms may try to pack some damaging wind gusts, maybe some dime to quarter size hail. The tornado threat primarily will stay into northwest Arkansas. Temperatures right now, primarily into the 70s where the clouds have been, but low 80s already where there's been more sun. And the winds, they will continue to be on the increase as we go into the rest of the day and also tomorrow. Highs today expected to be into the mid 80s. We are talking about cooler weather going into the rest of the work week. More on the forecast and more on the storms coming up.
All right, thank you, Nathan. Well, THV 11 is your election central, and we are officially 1 week out from Election Day, November 5th. Over 25% of registered voters in Pulaski County have voted. Through Monday, Pulaski County is reporting 64,668 early voters. That's pacing slightly above the 2020 presidential election through this same period. Pulaski County Clerk Terry Hollingsworth says majority of those voters are 55 and older. She has also shared an important reminder for anyone voting absentee.
Very significant about this Friday, November 1st, is that if anybody has requested an absentee ballot, then they also have to make sure that they bring it in by this Friday as well, and that's when it's due. So those are some tricky dates and deadlines that folks need to make sure they adhere to in order for their ballot to be counted.
Well, early voting is still available at 13 locations until Monday, November 4th, with only one site open on that last day. Vice President Kamala Harris's team launched a back-to-school push as young voters remain a huge focus for her campaign. Former President Trump also made a stop to rally young Republicans with a visit to Penn State this past weekend. Natalie Brand has a look at how the youth vote could play a pivotal role this year.
From the coach turned running mates pep talk,
our job is to make sure we're getting folks to the polls,
to the vice president on social media.
Your generation is killing it.
The Harris campaign is looking to turn young people's clicks into votes.
There is a lot of palpable excitement. I think having this candidate that's a lot younger is really exciting to people. She cares about the issues that we care about.
Leaders of Penn Democrats are making the pitch to students voting in their first presidential election.
We're doing everything that we can to mobilize young voters and show them how important this is, help them realize that this is an election that they want to be a part of.
We're really trying to grow our TikTok. We found that that's a really effective way to meet students where they are.
College Republicans at the University of Pennsylvania describe their outreach as more word of mouth.
I would definitely say there's a quiet enthusiasm. Back to that point about Republicans being afraid to voice their issues.
And say they're supporting Trump based on his record and policies.
I don't love his personality. I would never want him to be my friend or like a father figure or a mentor or anything like that. But he's going to be it's him or Harris for president.
I see my vote for Trump really a vote for my children, caring for my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, generations of what I want America to look like.
The young Republicans say their top issues include the economy, immigration, and foreign policy.
I would like to see an end, a cessation of hostilities with regards to Israel-Hamas, with regards to Ukraine and Russia.
Student Democrats cited different priorities.
My top issues are climate change, reproductive rights, and gun control.
In CBS News polling, Vice President Harris has a sizable advantage with likely voters in Pennsylvania under the age of 30.
I completely think that college students could be the difference.
While historically younger voters turn out in lower numbers than older Americans, student leaders are hoping to make their voices heard this November. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Well, if you need a refresher on polling locations or early voting hours, you can text the word VOTE, that's VOTE, to 501-376-1111, and we'll send our THV11 voter guide straight to your phone. Happening today in Pine Bluff, an important milestone in the construction of the new Saracen Hotel. This morning, crews will top off the 14-story hotel, marking the vertical completion of the tower. It's part of a project that also includes a new event center. Saracen says it plans to bring in big headliners, with the hotel giving guests somewhere to stay without having to travel far. The full project is expected to be finished next fall. Also this morning, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders was on hand for an announcement at the Port of Little Rock. European transportation manufacturer Faymonville Group will build its first U.S. production facility at the port. The company makes vehicles for heavy loads and special transports like semi-trailers. The project is expected to create nearly 400 jobs in Central Arkansas.
You could look at it either, oh my gosh, we have another lengthy closure on the Interstate 30 widening project, 5 weeks, or you could look at it as this is really the last major thing that we will do for this project.
Well, the final phase for the Interstate 30 expansion is officially underway. As of last night, exit 111 that takes you to Hot Springs is closed to the end of November to finish the 6-lane expansion. Construction has been ongoing since the spring of 2019, but RDOT says it's expected to be done before the end of this year. Well, on to a developing story out of Faulkner County. Today marks 12 years since the Conway man was found dead in his home, and the homicide still remains unsolved. According to the Faulkner County Sheriff's Office, 60-year-old Larry Billings was found in his home with a single gunshot wound on October 29, 2012. At that time, Billings was known as the owner of the Conway roller rink. The investigation into his death has not stopped, but investigators have no real leads. The Billings family still has a $15,000 reward offer for information that leads to an arrest. Well, we took a closer look at this case recently in our Cold Case series, Unsolved. You can watch all of our true crime coverage, including years of unsolved stories, right now on THV 11 Plus. The app is available on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV devices. Well, today is World Stroke Day. There are an estimated 17 million strokes worldwide each year, according to the American Stroke Association. Michael George has one survivor's story about how therapies are helping him gain more independence.
Go for this one.
It's been nearly 6 months since Walter Neff had a stroke significantly impacting his right side.
This place has helped me tremendously.
Oh, amazing.
When I came here, I could barely talk.
You couldn't sit up.
The 79-year-old receives intensive speech, occupational, and physical therapy at Phelps Hospital in Sleepy Hollow, New York.
It is exhausting. I'm thinking I can do more than this.
Walter is training for everyday tasks, like going up and down stairs.
There you go.
Scoot back a little bit.
And getting in and out of the car.
Actually requires a lot of coordination. You know, he's got to practice where to put his foot, or where to put his hands, and to gently put himself down in the chair.
Something Walter and his wife Nancy are grateful for.
Once Walter could start getting in and out of the car, then I can drive him. We can go out and eat. We can take a ride.
This machine gives Walter balance without needing a lot of input from his therapist.
It helps to promote some independence. It helps him to learn to shift his weight onto his affected side.
With the 2 therapies and speech, I've come a long way, but not back to normal. And I probably won't be. A year from now, I hope to be recovered as much as I'm going to.
There you go.
It's a process.
You think you're going to be maybe better in a few months, and that's not the case. But then I see what he was and what he can do now.
They look forward to the progress Walter's making every step of the way. Michael George, CBS News.
Well, it might seem early to go Christmas tree shopping, but not for the president. After the break, the story behind this year's White House Christmas tree and what it took to find it.
It doesn't feel like Christmas is anywhere near us because it is warm out there for October. We've got some breaks in the cloud cover, but we are talking about cooler numbers coming up and also a chance of showers and storms. A detailed look at that forecast coming up.